Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
After multiple council meetings, Lloydminster has passed their system assessment for the city's waste management services. Last updated in 2016, this 20-year plan provides a roadmap for decisions made to Lloyd's waste management. The Lloydminster landfill dates back to the 1970s and is also used by neighboring municipalities.
And hopefully we can extend our landfill to the greatest possible length, because each cell averages us approximately $4.5 million to $5 million, and we get about 5 years. So that's $1 million a year just to develop the capital, plus the operating.
The topic of alternative energy sources for the landfill was brought to Council's attention, where the master plan leaves that an option for the future, but not for now.
And what I heard very clearly from residents was, please make sure you keep looking at all options, namely waste energy. And I think that's one that we'll continue to explore. But based on the technology today that's available, that we're aware of, it's not the best avenue. But could that change tomorrow or the next year? Absolutely.
The master plan shows the city landfill has a life expectancy until 2060. A needs assessment with the goal of improving and adding healthcare services in Lloydminster is underway. Paul Richet of the Lloydminster and District Health Advisory Council spoke at the Concerned Citizens meeting today about the ongoing needs assessment being done by a Cornerstone planning group out of Vancouver.
I was the first interviewee from someone from Lloydminster to the consultant that was retained by both Saskatchewan Health and Alberta Health to look at the health services assessment and to review data on both sides of the provinces for Lloydminster and region, and to collect those and kind of then summarize the needs.
Richet says that one of the top priorities of the needs assessment is to show the consultants as well as the provincial government that a long-term care home is needed on the Saskatchewan side.
Put together from our group of several items that we had identified as lacking, and because I'm at the Concerned Citizens group, I do believe the campaign is correct to be one of the primary top priorities is the replacement of the Jubilee home in Saskatchewan.
Richet expects the needs assessment report to be released by the end of 2025. Once the report is out, action can be taken to improve healthcare in Lloydminster. The fourth annual Play It Forward charity hockey game is set to go this Friday. Stacey Comer has more on what's planned and how you can help out.
There is a big event happening Friday in Lloydminster. It is the fourth annual Play It Forward charity hockey game. I am joined by the founder and organizer, which is a huge job in both cases, Aaron Buckingham. Aaron, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Well, I know that you are getting to be a pro at this. Obviously, this is the fourth year for this event. But for those who might not know all the details, Aaron, tell me what it's all about, where the money goes, and how long it is, where it is, all the good stuff.
Sure. So 4 years ago, I came up with a little bit of an idea. I said, Border City Connects needs some help. At the time, they had received a grant that would pay for about half of one of the big Border City Connects vans that you see driving around town every day. So they needed to raise the other half. So they had $60,000 of $120,000 required. So I came up with an idea that would hopefully raise the other half. So that's what we ended up doing. I said, what does Lloydminster love? Lloydminster loves community, and Lloydminster loves hockey. So we married the two things together and came up with the Play It Forward Challenge, a 12-hour hockey game that raises money for Border City Connects, where 40 players the first year, and then we added an extra 8 because the first game, year one, at the end of the day was 78-76 was the final score. So, and people thought I set that up to be that way. It honestly just happened. But if there was 150 goals scored, you can imagine how many shots the goalies faced. So each team only had one goalie. So from year 2 forward, we've had 2 goalies on each team. Every player that signs up is required to raise a minimum $500 donation to play in the game. And that's where the majority of the money came from the first few years. Fortunately, we've had really great community sponsorship as well. And it's actually for this year, I think it's going to be the best corporate sponsorship we've ever had for the game. So over the years, the first year we raised half the money for that band to finish off their grant, and they replaced a unit. The last 2 years, we've gone more on the caravan side of things, where the vehicles of Border City Connects uses to go back and forth to Edmonton, Saskatoon, North Battleford, wherever anybody needs to go for medical appointments. Those vehicles were getting miled out. And the last thing I want to see is someone's grandmother on the side of the road, in the 30 below weather, broke down in a vehicle that's miled out. So the last couple of years, we've raised money to and actually replaced 2 of those caravans just with this hockey game. So it's been absolutely amazing, and the community support is what makes it all go. I couldn't be happier for how it's all gone.
Now, how can people donate if they're not playing in the game? And also, can they come out and just watch if they want to get some good
Yeah.
entertainment?
Yeah, I'll answer both your questions. The first is easy. BorderCityConnects.com has our website is up there, and there's a Play It Forward link. On that link, you can find the list of the 48 players that are playing in the game, and you go down, just pick the player you want to sponsor, and put your donation in there, and it kicks you back a tax receipt right away. So that's really quick and easy, and you can actually see how we're doing on the fundraising. It's updated every other day right now, and you can see where we're at as far as each player goes, and pick a player and donate. So that's the easy way to do it. As far as the game day goes, we've had a lot of people come down and watch and make donations right that day. We have people set up there to accept donations during the day. And as a player, I can tell you that having some people in the stands and some clapping and some yelling and cheering goes a long ways in a 12-hour hockey game. It really means a lot to everybody that's playing in the game if there are some fans in the stands. So yeah, come on down, Service Sports Center, 9 to 9. This game will start off a little differently. Of course, when I started this, it was Glenn Fagnan and I who really got this thing going. And after losing my best friend last year, I've got Glenn's wife and daughter dropping the puck for the 9 o'clock start in game 1 this year. And for me, my son's playing in the game. Glenn was a huge part of our lives, and is a reason why I am a lot of the things I am today. So this year's game for me is going to be a little extra special, and honestly a little tougher. Him and I ran that game every day, all day. We were both there through the whole thing, and this will be the first one without him. So it's going to be harder for sure, but still for a good cause. And this year's money is going to the greatest need. So we're not looking to replace a specific unit or anything this year. We're letting Border City Connects board of directors choose what they do with this money to help serve the community the best way they can.
Well, Aaron, that is going to be a really amazing tribute to Glenn. Everybody in the community knew Glenn, and it was so tough when he passed away. So that's nice that you have his family there to drop the puck at 9 o'clock. So it's very awesome that you included that this year as well. And obviously, everything, like you said, is for a good cause. So once again, and Aaron, before I let you go, date, time, location, and website, please.
Yeah, so April 4th, that's this Friday, 9 to 9 at the Service Sports Center on the Rustway Ice. There'll be a beer gardens upstairs in the OTS room, so you can watch the game from the stands or have a beverage. Fourth Meridian stepped up to run the bar for us this year, so they're going to be up there serving beverages throughout the day, and that's the one that overlooks the ice, of course, so you can watch the game from there or in the stands. People are welcome to come down, make donations all day at Service Sports Center. There'll be someone there to accept those. And BorderCityConnects.com, click on the Play It Forward link, and you can find everybody that you want to donate to right there. You can donate to multiple people. You can make one donation to somebody. You see somebody that's close to that $500, maybe you pick them and get them over the line. But all donations are greatly appreciated. And I can't thank the community enough. These players, it's a tough day. I skate a lot, and even I get pretty sore by the end of the day, and Saturday's not usually that fun the day after. So you've got 48 people, guys, girls, they're all coming out to play. And, it's them that makes this day what it is. Without those players donating their day, their time, going out and finding those donations, this event doesn't happen. So I can't thank the players enough, the returning players. We've got some new players coming out for the first time this year. So, I hope it continues to grow and do well, but I'm so thankful for the community's support, whether you're a player or whether you choose to donate. The people in our community need Border City Connects, and this helps them provide that service.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron, and good luck on Friday. And maybe you might wish you even more luck for Saturday, as you said, recovering. So thanks so much for doing this, and we look forward to the game on Friday.
Yeah, thank you, Stacey. Appreciate it.
And I'm joined by Abby, and we're here to talk about the weather. Obviously, we're
Yes.
in April now, and I was going to just talk about how this recent weather has kind of been sweater weather or winter coat weather. What are we
Yeah.
at right now?
Well, it is April Fool's Day, and the weather really did fool us with that
It did.
snow. It continued on
Yeah.
into today. We had a lot of flurries. Freezing rain, I think, was the biggest thing. So definitely be cautious when you're going out. It is going to be very icy. That is unfortunately possibly going to continue into tonight, and but hopefully it's going to clear up by tomorrow, which is nice because then it's going to get really warm by next week.
Yes, we are
which
in
is
for
nice.
those days
But
soon.
for now, today it was quite chilly out. It is -2 currently. It feels closer to -8 with that wind chill, so it is definitely on the chillier side with those clouds as well. 19 km/h wind, so not as windy as it has been, but it definitely did add into the chilliness of the day. Add in also the flurries and the freezing rain, not too great of a day all together. But current temperatures in Alberta, +2 in Provost, Wainwright, and Beggarville, 1 in Vermilion, St. Paul, Bonnyville, and Lac La Biche, 4 in Edmonton, 0 out in Cold Lake and in Marwayne. And in Saskatchewan, 0 up in Isle of Cross, 1 in Green Lake, -1 in St. Walburg and Maidstone, 3 in Pierceland, 2 in Meadow Lake, and -3 out in North Battleford. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, temperatures will drop down to -5. It will be cloudy, a little bit more cloudy of conditions, 25% chance of some precipitation, so that could continue. However, winds not too bad, only 9 km/h. Into tomorrow, a daytime high of 0 degrees, so it may feel a little bit colder, especially with that wind picking up to about 20 km/h, and it is going to be quite a cloudy day out. So it is going to be a little bit on the colder side, so not as great of a day. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake, -8 will be the low for this evening. 70% chance of a little bit of snow ending this evening, accumulating, coating to 1 centimeter, so not too much, and then those clouds will start clearing up. 15 km/h wind, so it is going to be a little bit chillier of a night tonight. Into tomorrow, a daytime high of +2, so it may be a tiny bit chilly just with the wind at 17 km/h, but it is going to be a mix of sun and clouds, so that there is going to be a chance of some nice sun tomorrow, which is nice to see. Overnight tonight here in Lloydminster, drop down to -6 as our low, and like I said, there is a chance of some more flurries this evening. Otherwise, it will remain quite cloudy. 15 km/h wind, so that slows down just a tad. It still will be quite chilly out. Into tomorrow, -5 at 6 a.m., 20 km/h winds, about a 20% chance of some more precipitation, but it'll be mostly cloudy. And it will be cloudy for most of the day as well. Noontime will be -3 winds. It will be quite windy tomorrow, windier than today. 24 km/h winds by noontime, 19 km/h winds by 6 p.m., -1 cloudy conditions, and then it will be partially cloudy around midnight, -5 winds at 13 km/h. Over the next 3 days, we'll get up to a high of 0 tomorrow with a low of -8. And then on Thursday, we have a little bit of sun returning, which is very nice. It's still going to be a little bit chilly with a high of just -1, low of -11. And then on Friday, it gets a little bit warmer, which is lovely, above 0 at a high of +3, low of -5, and it will be mostly sunny. So that's the start of our nice sunny weather that we're going to be experiencing into over the weekend and into next week. As a first look at your weather forecast, we'll have more news coming up after the break.
Saskatchewan Selects Football is hosting a camp for both players and coaches at LCHS on May 24th. Our Thomas Wildman learned more about the program.
Today I'm joined by Matt Sheridan and Coach Zelko, and they are from the Selects football program out of Moose Jaw, and they are here today to talk about a camp that they are hosting in Lloydminster. And thank you both so much for joining me today. And let's first talk a little bit about the Selects football program and where it all began.
The program was started in 2011. A couple of dads, myself and a dude by the name of Steve Sombach, who started it. Our kids were just of that age at that time where we wanted to give them an opportunity to develop in football and learn some of the fundamental skills in football throughout the winter. The following year, we had so much interest in our program that we ended up having 3 different teams. So we ended up having a 12U, a 14U, and a varsity our second year. Our third year, we ended up having about 450 kids try out for our program, which was crazy at that time. We didn't know what to do and to make of it. But we saw immediately that there was a need for long-term athletic development based in football, but also fundamental skill development, because this is something that we were lacking at that time, and I think even to this day.
And then let's focus a little bit on the camp here in Lloydminster. What are some of the main highlights of this camp that will be coming here to the border city?
So the idea was born out of the recognition that there are some barriers to participation in selects, primarily geographic. One of the picadillos or the interesting things about Saskatchewan is it's disproportionately rural. And to participate in selects means traveling, usually a decent distance, maybe not by prairie standards, but definitely, we've had some families come from some pretty far off places to participate. And that can be a barrier or an impediment to participation. And we believe and have such conviction in the value of what we're doing that I wanted to try and find a way to flip the script a little bit and change that dynamic. The camps are based on, as Zelko mentioned, the foundational principle of the Selects program, which is skill development. So we're doing skill development for players, but we're also incorporating skill development for coaches. And that's one of the unique challenges to football in some of the smaller rural communities in the province, is that as much as it's a struggle to get enough players to come out, it's also sometimes a struggle to get coaches to come out. And sometimes those coaches don't necessarily have any kind of football pedigree or background. So we want to try and fill that knowledge gap by offering coaching presentations and a bit of a coaching forum to address some of the issues that exist in that actual community and program. So a further element to these camps is the content of it, both the player skill development and the coaching skill development is tailored and customized to the needs and the desires of the programs and the coaches that I've been in contact with. So we're trying to make it as relevant and practical as possible. So we're coming to Lloydminster May 24th of this year. Our camp is going to be at LCHS. And it's going to go from 9 a.m. until 3:30 in the afternoon. I have been in touch with Coach Kieran at LCS and Coach Vince at Holy Rosary about this.
Finally, where can people go to sign up as well as get more information about the camp and your guys' program?
We're going to have it up on our social media for Selects. We're going to have it up on our webpage. There are links to the Team Snap registration that are already live. Those are going to be for players. For any coaches that are interested in getting involved, we're going to ask that they reach out to me on my Selects email to register. Part of the reason for that is we're offering a bit of a deal when it comes to the cost. So it's going to be $105 for the players for the day of the camp. Coaches are $50 to participate. They're going to be doing the coaching presentation in the morning, and then the idea is to transfer those elements onto the field so the coaches come and they participate and integrate. The deal is that if for a coach, every 4 players that you bring to the camp, we're going to waive your fee for participation. So I'm going to be keeping track of that myself. In addition to that, we're in Meadow Lake the very next day on the 25th. So we're offering kind of a package deal. On the off chance that somebody wants to get more reps and they want to get more involved and learn more, we're offering it's $150 for the players to participate in both camps, and then $75 for the coaches for both. And again, that same deal exists with fees waived if you bring 4 players to participate in either camp.
Thank you both for all the information today, and we look forward to seeing you this upcoming May.
Abby St. John is back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for our weekly edition of Pet Project.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for our weekly edition of Pet Project, and today we have a bonded pair of cats.
Not this one.
Not this one. This is Bobby. He's just super excited. But we have Cola right here, and then Butter over in the corner on his little castle or his throne, and they are bonded together. They aren't siblings, but they have been together their entire lives.
Yeah.
So tell me about their story, how they came to be, and what their best fit would be.
So Cola and Butter, they came to us together. They are, like you said, a bonded pair, so they've spent their entire lives together. Unfortunately, due to circumstances at anybody's control, they were an honor surrender. So we absolutely want them to be adopted out together. They've spent their entire lives together. We do not want to split them up. And if we can avoid that at any cost, we will. Because they're just super sweet. And I find them having each other when they came in kind of really helped them acclimate to the new environment. They're very sweet boys, though. They're so loving. They're so cuddly. As far as we know, they're not really great with dogs, but they get along with other cats. Like Bobby was already in here, and they seem to be getting along just great. Like, they're very sweet. Butter is a little bit more reserved and just like chill, whereas Cola, a little more adventurous, wants to explore a little more, very curious, but still very sweet. And I feel like they would make an excellent addition to like any home. If you've got kids or an older couple that just want some cuddle buddies, they'd be absolutely perfect.
Yes, they are just so sweet. Like you said, Butter's definitely a little bit more on the shyer side, but I went over to him, they both love scratches underneath the chin. Yeah. They lived for it, and they just truly are just super chill. Cola is a little bit on the chonkier side, a little bit heavier, but that definitely does not take away from his loving and just sweet nature.
No, he's thick.
Yeah. But he is so sweet. Now, going off of adoptions, you had the PetSmart adoption week. Yes. We were there last week for Pet Project, and so I would love to know how it went. Very successful from what we were talking about. Yeah. So tell me how it all went and how many adoptions you were ultimately able to get.
So I feel like this might have actually been one of our most successful PetSmart adoption events. We had 5 kitties adopted last week, which is absolutely amazing. And thank you to everybody who even just came down to take a look, or anyone who shared any of the posts. It made a huge difference, and those little guys now have forever homes instead of being stuck here. And although we love seeing them, we love it more when they find their people.
Absolutely.
Right? And so huge shout out to PetSmart and everybody there who helped make this such a huge success. We couldn't have done it without you guys, so thank you so much.
Yes, it was fantastic, and I loved being there to do Pet Project, just seeing the little kittens there that were ultimately adopted, which is so
and
great.
Binu.
Amazing, and Marty too.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see that happen, especially with an event like this, with having PetSmart kind of back you up with it. It is amazing, and it's so great that you guys were able to get those adoptions out. Now, there are a few events coming up just this month. Coming up on the 22nd, it is a fun scavenger hunt, and that is amazing. So what are the details people need to know about that, and how can people participate?
So we have partnered with a bunch of local businesses. There's going to be some clues. Essentially, if you are interested in taking part of this little scavenger hunt, you email Chelsea at events@borderpaws.ca, where you can get all the info, the location where everybody's meeting. She will have the clues and things that you'll need. She'll hand them out to you. Basically, you go around, you follow the clues, snap pictures of the hidden items, and the team or person who has the most wins a fabulous TJ's Pizza Feast.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Lots of fun, and scavenger hunts are always fun, and it's a great way to kick off spring as well. Now finally, if you love tattoos and that artistry that goes along with it, Beauty and the Beast Tattoos is partnering with you guys to put on like an event. It is first come, first serve.
It is.
But tell me what the event is and what people need to know.
So on April 26th, from their opening hours from 12 to 7, we are partnering with Beauty and the Beast for a tattoo fundraiser. Prices, I believe, will be available. You can see on our Facebook page there's a post about it. But it's first come, first serve, and all the money, most of the money raised from the tattoo fundraiser will come right back here to the animals and helping them live their best life here until they find their parents, their new homes.
Wonderful. Lots of events to choose from is just this month alone, which is fantastic. Yeah. It's a great way to start spring as well. Now finally, same question as every week, the donations that you're in need of.
So we are absolutely always looking for volunteers, and if that's something that you're interested in, absolutely email events@borderpaws.ca with your availability and things you might be interested in helping out with. We would absolutely love to see some more faces here. We're running a little low on our Canadian Naturals lamb and brown rice dog food and the salmon and sweet potato. We're also going to need paper towel, floor cleaner. We're looking for the kitchen size garbage bags, the xylitol-free peanut butter, because we love to give our puppies the treats. And some of them, it's easier if they have meds, right? Things like that. Dish soap, things like that. Maybe, yellow mop heads, because we do color coordinate them for the different areas of the building.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you again for joining me. And if you're looking for a bonded pair of cats who are just so sweet and loving, then look no further than Cola and Butter. They certainly are such sweet boys, and they will definitely make the perfect addition to any household. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's now time to take a look at your adorable animals in our pet picks of the day.
Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
The Vermilion Folk Club will be hosting their final event of the year coming up on May 3rd. Our Jackson Fontaine and the president of the club have more.
I'm joined here today with Alan McMillan, the president of the Vermilion Folk Club. So Alan, once again, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much, Jackson. I appreciate the opportunity.
So you guys have another event coming up on May 3rd, but before we kind of get into that, could you just explain to me what the Vermilion Folk Club is?
The Vermilion Folk Club was formed 30 years ago, which is kind of hard to believe, but it was originally created by folks who, no pun intended, that had an affinity for the singer-songwriter, original music artists that often have excellent messaging in their tunes and their melodies. They wanted to bring that type of music to Vermilion and the surrounding area, so they created the club.
Awesome. So you guys have the Secondhand Dream Car Band coming to the Vermilion Elks Hall on May 3rd. So first off, could you just tell me who they are and then what's going to be happening that night?
We're so excited to bring Secondhand Dream Car to Vermilion. This is this started as almost a secondary. They're some of the finest session musicians in Edmonton. Like they're just amazing professionals. They record on albums with folks, and it was just a group of friends and great musicians that started to get together, and they formed this project called Secondhand Dream Car, and it's an eight member group. It's got a full horn section, multiple guitars. Lead singer is Dana Wiley, she could sing the phone book and make it sound amazing, and she's just surrounded by this awesome array of talent that we're so excited to host. And because of the size of the artists, the 8-member band, it's hard to find them anywhere outside of Edmonton.
And Alan, as always, where can people get tickets and how much are tickets for the event?
Tickets for all of our events this season have been $30. They can get their tickets to Secondhand Dream Car at the Vermilion Credit Union. If they want to if you're from Lloyd and you would rather do an e-transfer, you can e-transfer to allanmac15@hotmail.com. That's ALLANMAC15@hotmail.com. We'll be glad to take your money and we'll hold the ticket for you at the door. You can pick the tickets up at the door. I guess to say the Elks will be there that evening. They will have it's a licensed event, so there will be the opportunity to have some beverages as you watch the show, and it's going to be a lively show. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
Also, you mentioned you guys are celebrating your 30th year. How much hard work and dedication would you say does it take to run a club for this long?
It absolutely relies on volunteers. I mean, there's no way that you run 30 seasons without people that are committed to the cause and really have a deep love for music. There's a lot of behind the scenes work. There's booking the artists, there's negotiating, there's the setup of the event, there's meeting the band for load in, there's sound check. The day of the event, it's a full day event. I mean, you're meeting the band or the artist for load in at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. You're setting up the venue. There's tear down at the end of the night. It does take commitment. There's folks that run sound for us, and we've been very, very fortunate over the course of those 30 years to have people that are willing to do that.
And this is your guys' final event of the year. So, Alan, how would you say the year has gone?
It's been a really good year. It's been an interesting year. We tried some different things. This year we signed on to the Home Roots circuit, which brought in a very unique group of artists that we probably wouldn't have brought in without belonging to that organization. We also ran our regular season. We did our St. Paddy's Day event. It's been a busy year. I think this is event number 10 or 11 for us. And for a group of 8 or 9 volunteers, it does become a lot, but it was fantastic. We've had some super wonderfully talented people that have been tremendous to work with. And on a personal note, I mean, there hasn't been a show that I've seen that I did not enjoy this season. So
just to recap, Alan, that is May the 3rd at the Vermilion Elks Hall, and tickets are $30. My final 2 questions are: where can people get more information? And is there anything else you'd like to add?
We do have a Vermilion Folk Club website. So if you just Google Vermilion Folk Club, it should take you to our website. People can email me directly, again, at alanmac15@hotmail.com. We have a Facebook page. We do run some socials on Facebook and Instagram. Even better yet, come out to a show and find us and chat with us. We would be more than glad to share any information that you're looking for. It takes a village to run this organization. So the more people we have, many hands lightens the load, that's for sure.
Perfect. Well, Alan, thank you for doing this today.
Thank you so much, Jackson, and have a great rest of the week.
Coming up after the break, our Abby St. John will have another look at our evening weather forecast.
Taking a final look at our evening weather forecast tonight here in Lloydminster, will drop down to -6. About a 55% chance of a few flurries this evening. Otherwise, it will be mostly cloudy, and hopefully that snow does taper off. It was not nice to have those flurries today, so hopefully that's the end of it. 15-kilometer-per-hour wind, so it is going to be a little bit on the windier side, but that, of course, is something that we're used to. Into tomorrow, -5 around 6 a.m., mostly cloudy. It is going to be windy tomorrow for most of the day, 20-kilometer-per-hour winds that will pick up to 24 by noontime, -3 and cloudy conditions. By 6 p.m. it will be around -1. Again, cloudy, winds will die down just a little bit to 19 kilometers per hour, and then again to 13 kilometers per hour by midnight, -5, and it will be partially cloudy. And then over the next 7 days here in the border city, a high of 0, low of -8 for tomorrow. Cloudy conditions as well. On Thursday, we finally get a little bit of sun with a high of -1, low of -11. On Fridays, when things start to warm up with a high of 3, low of -5. High of 5 on Saturday with some mostly sunny skies, a little bit of cloud coverage, low of -5. On Sunday, expect sun with a high of +5, low of -3. And then we get into the double digits on Monday, high of 11, low of -1, sunny and quite nice. And then on Tuesday, a little bit more cloudier, but it will be a high of 13, low of 0. So that's very nice to look forward to next week. Those double digits above 0. We had the double digits below 0, which was nice, better than usual, but the above zero is very, very nice. And
Yeah.
we're finally getting into that spring weather.
And until then, I will still be wearing my winter jacket because it is quite chilly outside until then, but warmer temperatures are on the way.
Yes.
That is all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks so much for watching and have a great night.